Staying with companies that are in business rescue, and on to this story now. South African Airways says it has taken note of the court application by Sipho Sono, a Mango Airlines business rescue practitioner, against the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin, Gordhan and SAA. That is regarding the process governing the disposal, the sale of SAA's shares in Mango Airlines to the investor identified by the business rescue practitioner. According to the statement by SAA, Mr. Sono is asking the court to compel the minister to approve the sale of Mango as a matter of urgency. He further complains about requests for details such as the identity and the commercial capability of the business rescue practitioner's preferred bidder. Mango, as you remember, was placed in business rescue in July 2021. But to get more on this story, we are joined by Sipho Sono himself, who is the business rescue practitioner at Mango Airlines. Mr. Sono, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. In the statement, SAA says Minister Gordhan is merely exercising his duty and rights to seek more information, as much information as possible, for him to act responsibly in supporting an asset disposal application. And therefore, they believe that the minister is within his right to declare his dissatisfaction with the quality of the information that you have supplied. How did we get here from the time that you have been involved with Mango Airlines?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Polani. Perhaps let me start off by going back to the time the company Mango filed for business rescue, which you've already indicated was in July. I was appointed in August 2021 as the business rescue practitioner of the airline. As with any business rescue, what we did with my team, I had quite a huge team with various types of experts, so that we spent a good amount of time analyzing the business of Mango, so that we have a good handle on where the difficulties were. That process then culminated in us putting together a business rescue plan, which contained enough information about the operations, the size of the aircraft fleet, the number of employees. So we had proposed to restructure Mango to take it, basically say half the size it was, because at that stage the costs were just simply significant and we were in the middle of COVID. So that restructuring was in that plan, and according to that plan we had indicated that we would start operations of Mango around December 2021. But unfortunately, SAA and DPE, Department of Public Enterprises, did not permit Mango to resume operations, and we had no alternative but to agree to a plan now being amended to focus the rescue purely on Mango being sold. So in other words, SAA and the department took a view that Mango ought to be sold to another investor, and the money that was made available of about 819 million rand must not be used as working capital. We didn't understand that, but nevertheless we didn't have a choice. The choices were either you liquidate or you then come up with the kind of plan that says you restructure or rather, let me put it this way: you cancel all the contracts that you don't need. You reduce staff complements significantly, and just remain with very few staff until the time that you've got an investor. So that's the plan that then SAA and DPE wanted us to have. Otherwise, the 819 million was not going to flow into Mango. So we were forced, and that is what we did. So we put together a plan that says creditors which would be paid X cents in the rand. I think we said 4 cents in the rand. But then Mango would then be sold, and whatever additional money we get from the sale would then be used to pay creditors a top-up dividend. So that was the essence of the plan.
So from what you're saying, Mr. Sono, there is interest to buy Mango Airlines as it is right now. And if there's no decision, it places creditors at risk as well as jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was not easy for us to find an investor, because if you're looking for an investor for a company that is not operating, it's not a compelling proposition. But nevertheless, we managed to find an investor whose details have been disclosed fully to SAA and DPE, because in terms of the PFMA, the shareholder approval is required to dispose of the shares that are currently held by SAA. So that is where we are stuck now. We submitted an application in September last year for approval of the disposal in terms of that section of the PFMA, Section 54. Normally, that approval should be given within 30 days. And we thought that in the case of Mango, it could be done even quicker, because a decision to dispose had already been made. But unfortunately, SAA and the DPE have been asking us a lot of information that really has got no bearing on the decision whether SAA exits Mango or not. Because, like I say, Mr. Mbanjwa, that decision had already been made, so we in essence would be going through the formalities in terms of the act. But unfortunately, that process has been delayed every now and then. We ask questions, we deal with them extensively, and then we get another set of questions. They postpone, they ask for 30 more days. So from September until now, that is what we've been trying to do. And therefore, this is the purpose of the litigation. All we are seeking is for a court to compel the minister to make a decision based on the information at hand. If he is not satisfied, if he believes that he doesn't have enough information to do so, well, it is open for him to decline the application. But of course, when he does so, he must provide reasons. So that is what we are asking the court to do. The court must compel the minister to make a decision one way or the other. You are correct. There are jobs on the line. We retrenched quite a number, in fact, almost 100% of staff, with a promise that as soon as the investor comes on board, some of them would be re-employed. And the investor we have indicated that the initial operations would require between 100 and 150 employees, which is a good number in this rate in this rate of unemployment that we have.
Thank you.
And in addition, we also have customers that bought Mango Airlines tickets in advance that are owed money, and they are owed collectively 183 million rand. And we had then planned, instead of paying those customers a fraction of what they are owed, we had planned that they would fly for the value of their tickets without having to pay anything extra. But of course, it would depend what they are flying from. So that was a very good proposal for these customers. Otherwise, if we can't do that, then it means they will receive anything between 5 to 10 cents to the rand, which is not good for the industry, amongst other things. So yes, you're absolutely right. Jobs, creditors. So that is why I need this process to be finalized as soon as possible.
Mr. Sipho Sono, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. He's the business rescue practitioner who is taking SAA and the Minister of Public Enterprises to court to compel them to give the go-ahead and thumbs up to the sale of Mango Airlines.